everyone. Welcome back. In today's, we are going to discuss in today's session, we are going to discuss what is an array. Why do you need an array? How many types of an array? How would you declare an array? And how would you access an array? How would you initialize an array? How would you input, output through array using keyboards and monitors? And what are the properties of array? And advantages and disadvantages of array. Basically, after the end of the session, you will be able to understand what is an array, how it is declared, how it is initialized, how it is imported from keyboard, and so on. In the previous sessions, we have been gone through like statements, data types, control statement, looping statement, and jump statement like break, continue, go to, and so on. Now, see what is an array. Why do we need an array? See, if you want to store multiple values of same data type, so there are two ways. One way is, so far, what you have understood so far, what you can do, you can declare different variable of same data type, and you can store the same data type value on different variables. Suppose, for example, if you want to hold marks of 100 student to 50 student, what would you do it? You would be so far what you have understood how variable are declared and so on. So what would you do if you want to store the marks of 100 to 100 students? If you want to store the marks of 100 students, so you will declare 100 variables. But if there are more than 100, then you have to declare that much variables. Because it's not a good practice. By using array, we have to declare only the one variable, and by using array, we can access multiple values of the same data type. See, what is an array? Array, you can say, what is an array? Array is a group of similar data type elements, or you can say array is a collection of similar data type elements. Array stores data item in continuous memory location. Once you declare an array, compiler will reserve that much space for that specific variable. So array, you can say it is a collection of similar data items. Similar data item means you can store same data type value. If you want to store 510 int value, so you can store in a same variable, in a single variable of same data type. If you want to hold multiple floats value, so you can declare a float array and you can store the values over there, or you want to store multiple characters, so you can declare a character array also. So there are different languages. We use array like in C, Java. There are the same way to access initialization. So in C Java, we store the same data type elements in the same variable. But in Python, you can have multiple different mixed data type element in a same variable. But in C, we have to restrict on C. In C, we can store same data type elements in a variable, in a data type variable. So you can store multiple values of int data type in a single variable. You can store multiple character in a single variable. You can store multiple float data type value in a single variable. So you can say what is an array? Array is defined as a collection of similar data type element, or you can say array store data item in continuous memory locations. Array in C we have primitive data type. Primitive is primary, predefined data type like int, float, short, char. Arrays are derived data type. Derived data type, uh, uh, and it can store primitive type of data type of value like int, char, double, etc. So it has the capability to store the collections of derived data type like pointer, struct, you will study pointer, struct, union data type. These are also known as derived data type, or you can say user-defined data types. So you can store pointer, you can assign pointer value, struct value in structure, in pointer. You can also use array over there also. Array in array you can access the variable sequentially as well as randomly. Randomly means any value in the array. So you can say array is used to organize same type of data. Like, array is a continuous memory location. Array store the members in continuous memory location. So, for example, if you have declared a variable number, let it be n type of size. So, in array, the first element is a number is a variable, and this is known as index or subscript. By using index or subscript, this is called index. Zero is the index. Array always begin by value 0. This is called index or subscript. So last size would be n minus 1 because array begins with 0. If you have declared an array of size 5, the last value would be 4. Array is a continuous memory location. So in a single variable of an array number 0, you can store first value, second value, third value, fourth value, and so on. So first value will be stored by an array by using subscript or index. The first index would be 0. Array always begins at 0. Array is a continuous memory location. Array provides basically a convenient and efficient way you can access, manipulate a large amount of data in a single variable of same data type. So there are some common reasons why do we use an array. Storing and accessing multiple data elements. So array allows you to store multiple data element of same data type. This is the definition of an array. You can store multiple data element of same data type in a single variable. So this makes it easier to access and manipulate the data element as a group. Efficient memory uses, as you know, arrays are always stored in continuous memory location. It means the elements are stored in block of memory that can be efficiently accessed and manipulated. So this can be more efficient if you declare variable separately A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, etc. The compiler will store in different location, but the array variable are always stored in continuous memory location. So that's why it is flexible, it is efficient as compared to the variable which are defined separately. Memory access is better than efficient as compared if you declare the variable A, B, C, D separately. There are many algorithms you will study in data structure or even in C language also, like searching, sorting, where you can implement array efficiently. So there are certain algorithms that require to perform operations on a collection of data elements. By using an array, you can like using an array, it makes easy to implement these algorithms like searching, sorting, matrix, you will see matrix program, addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. You have to use the loop and programming construct. Or you can make your structure simplify. How? Array allow you to simplify the structure of your program by reducing the number of variables you need to use. Instead of using separate variables for each data element, you can use a single array variable to store them all. Basically, you can say array is an essential data structure in programming that provide a convenient and efficient way to store and manipulate data elements. So far, I think now it is clear why do you need an array. Instead of defining different data type for same, instead of defining different variable for same data type, you can declare a single variable of and you can access multiple value of different of same data type by using a single variable. And whenever you will declare an array, so it will store members, data elements, or member of array in a continuous memory locations. So you can efficiently access different values by using a single variable. And array are accessed by a subscript or index which begins at the value 0. For example, if you want to, if we have a small number of elements, let us say we want 3. So we can declare it separately like ABC, variable 1, variable 2, and variable 3. But if we have a large number of variables, then it is not a good practice to declare different variable. So for that, you can declare an array. So if we have large number of variables, then we can use array to store them. So let us take a real life example. Suppose you want to make a program that prints 1 to 100 digits. Now in C language, you can achieve this by 2 methods. The first one is to make 100 variables and store the number from 1 to 100 in those variables separately and then print each digit. And second method is to create an array of size 100 and store the number in that array using a loop. So these digits can be printed using a single loop in linear complexity. So it is clear that second method is more optimized and desirable than the first one, as it is more convenient to store these values in a single array rather than creating 100 different variables. In memory, array is a continuous memory location. Once you declare an size of an array 100, it will begin with 0 and the last value will be 99. So there are different ways you can represent an array. So in C, how array is declared. First data type, then variable name, and in square bracket, you will declare the size of an array. So data type, it could be any primitive data type, int, float, char, double. And this is name of array variable. This is array name of variable, and it can hold maximum 10 values. So you can initialize at the time of declaration also, like in the curly braces, you can give different 10 values. So what would it do? Array variable continuously, it will store continuously value like this way. The first value 35 at location 0, second 33, third 42, and so on. So the size of array is 10, so it begins with 0 and the last value would be size minus 1. It would be 9, right? 0 to 9. And these values will be stored continuously in an array. If you want to access any value, you can access it by a subscript. So array always store the same data type variable. Like here in the examples, we are taking it, it is storing int value. Data item stored in an array, they are called elements. The location or placing of each element has an index value. Important. Array can store only the same type of data item. Like look at 5, 6, 10. These are the same data type. These are int. Now, these are the A, B, C, D. These are the characters, same data type. But here, uh, first type A and B is allowed in C language, but this C type is not allowed because it is a mixed data type. Mixed data type means some values are characters, some values are float, some are integer. So it is not allowed in C. In C, you can store same data type of values in a single variable. In the array, we have stored all integer values of same data type. In the array B, we have stored all character value of same type. In the array C, there is an integer, float, char, all type of value, and it is not something an array can store. So option 3 is not, because array cannot store different type of values. I hope now you must have learned how arrays declare, why do we need an array, how values are stored in array. So we can declare an array by specifying its name and what are the type of element and size of dimension. Size of dimension. When we declare an array in C, so what the compiler does is, compiler, you can say when you declare an array, it is static in nature. Why it is static in nature? Because at the time of declaration, compiler will hold or allocate that much memory block to that specific variable. So that's why it is called a static in nature, because at the time of declaration, memory is reserved by a compiler. So when we declare an array in C, the compiler allocates the memory block of the specified size in the array name. The C array are static in nature. They are allocated they are allocated memory at the compile time. So that's why it is called static. We can allocate dynamic also, but there we have to use the concept of pointer. So we will study in pointer dynamic nature also. So now what is the syntax for an array? Data type, name of array, size of array. So what is data type? Data type is int, float, etc. And name of array, you can take any name, whatever you like it, but you know this is name of identifier. That ruling, that proper syntax should be followed when you name of an array. Like the first letter could be an alphabet or underscore, and then it followed by alphabet digit. No special symbol is allowed. And size of array under square bracket, size of array under square bracket, you can add a value greater than 0. Because if there is a single, if there is a size 0, means there is a single variable that you can declare without an array. Look at the example. When you declare an array of size 10, like for example, 8, 8, 10, what does it mean? It means A is an array variable which can hold maximum 10 values of data type 8. So when you declare an array A of 8 data type of size 10, those 10 locations will be reserved by the compiler for array variable A. So you can store 10 values like this way, and the first value you can access by A of 0, because you can access array value by subscript or index. So like this, Here you have declared a variable of int data type. You have int values. Here you have in the second example you have declared a data type char. So in character in B array you can hold character values like F, D, A, B, N, J, I. These are known as character array of character. So further we will study what is array of character. It is called string, and you know string always terminates with a special symbol that is called null. So we will store one extra space for null when we use as a character array as a string. So these are the examples of int, char. So here in the array you are holding the value int data type and character data type. How arrays initialize at the time of declaration. How arrays initialize at the time of declaration. Make sure whenever you declare an array, so there are two ways. Either you initialize it at the time of declaration, or what you can do it, you can import through keyboards. So when you declare an array without inputting from keyboards, so you declare an array, you make sure array must be initialized, otherwise it will take garbage. So how array are initialized? Data type, variable name, size equal to value 1, value 2, whatever the size of an array, up to that much size of value, you can initialize it in curly braces, and after that you have to use semicolon. See here, both the statements are correct. Like here you declare data type, array name, and here you are not giving a size. So automatically, whatever you are initializing the value, that much size will be taken by this variable. So when you initialize it, then size is optional. But when you input from the keyboard, then size is must. Otherwise, it will give you an error. So you can declare an array without size only when you initialize it. If you do not initialize it first and you want to input from the by using looping statement scanner, then it is must. So there are two ways. One is you can leave the size, and other is you can insert a size. Data type array name. There are 5 values. So how much size it will be taken by this variable name? 5. It automatically infers by the compiler the size is 5. So there is another way. By using array, you can input value from the keyboard, or even if you do not initialize at the time of declaration, you want to initialize uh, there is one more way. You can initialize it by using loop also. So how? For for I equal to 0, I less than n, and in the size of array I plus plus, you can say array name of I equal to whatever you want to assign, value 1, value 2, value 3, you can assign. So look at the example how arrays initialize in C. So here you are declaring an variable array of int data type, size is 5, and you are giving the initial value to this array like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The compiler will store these 5 values in a continuously. How? The first value will be stored as an array of 0, the second array of 1, array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. And if you are not putting a size here, so automatically it will take a size. And here you have declared an array 2 variable of data type float and the maximum size is 5. So if you want to initialize it by using loop, so you can initialize it how you are using a for loop, you are initializing array with 0. You have to initialize it with 0. You cannot start loop with 1 because array always start with 0. This is called base value. I less than 5, I plus plus. So you are incrementing the loop. Here you cannot use equal 5. If you use 5, what will happen? You try it. It won't give you an error compiled logically, but there will be some exceptions error. Runtime error will be raised because array does not check the boundary of size of array. So here you are by using loop, you are initializing the value array to. Here I is an integer variable. So you have making a typecasting. This is called explicit typecasting. There are two types of typecasting. One is implicit and another is explicit. Implicit is done by compiler automatically. If you are using an expression of int or float data type, the size of float is larger, so it will automatically convert into float. But if you are using int loop integer variable, so if you want to convert into float data type, so you have to explicitly specify the type of data. So here you are converting of integer variable I to float data type. And say 0 into 2.1, whatever the value first into stored 0, that 1 into 2.1, 2 into 2.1, 3 into 2.1, 4 into 2.1. So that value will be stored in the float array. There are two types of array. One is one-dimensional array and another is multi-dimensional array. So far, you have seen 1D array. 1D array means we are using one subscript. If it is 2D array, we will use two subscript. If it is 3D array, we will use three subscript. So multi-dimensional array, as such, there is no limit. You can use maximum up to 3D, up to 7D, 8D, and so on. So in 1D array, we have to use only a single subscript, single square bracket. So this is called 1D array, like int, a, tab. This is 1D array. A 1D array is a kind of linear array. It is a linear array because memory is allocated by the compiler in the continuous location. It involves single subscripting. So the square bracket is used for the subscript of the array, and compiler will infer to declare for the subscript of the array and to declare and access the element of the array. Compiler will store the element and will access by using a loop or by using an index. This is the syntax for 1D array. Data type, array name, and size. For 1D array, you will use only a single subscript. And 1D array is also called a linear array. Multi-dimensional array, you have 2D, 3D, and so on. So in 2D, how it is declared? In 2D array, we will use two subscripts. Basically, 2D array generally we use to store the data in tabular form, in matrix form, in a table form. The first subscript works like as a row and the second subscript works like as a column. So how it is declared? Data type, like it could be in float char, array name, and in first subscript will represent the size of row and the second subscript will represent the size of column. So for example, here int data type is int, variable name is array, and the size is 5, 5. It means there are 5 rows, 5 columns. Means you can store the data in tabular or matrix forms. There would be maximum 5 rows, 5 columns. So like 1D array, as 1D array begins with 0, 2D array also begin with 0, 0. First row would be 0 and the first column would be 0. In 3D array, for 3D array, we need three subscript, size 1, size 2, size 3. So how would it store when we require two or more table of the element to declare the array element? Then in that situation we use 3D array. Basically, when we need to create two or more table of the elements, then we use 3D array. You can say nested table. For nested table, table of table, for table of table, you have to use 3D array. How arrays access? You can access array elements by using index or subscript value. Index always begins with 0. So you can access any element of an array by using subscript operator. This is called square. Square is a subscript operator. And the index value I of the element, like index, it could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but array always begin with the 0. And the last would be the size minus 1. Here, this is array variable. And suppose if what is the size of array? 0 to 5. The maximum size is 6. The last value would be 5. You can access it by array 0, array 1, like this way. Array 0, you want to print the value of array 3, so this will print 4th value. Array declaration and initialization. Here, array is integer data type. It is holding maximum 5 value, like 15, 25, 35, 45, 55. So compiler, what the compiler will do? Compiler will reserve all the 5 location in a continuous memory location. The first location will be array of 0, second array 1, array 2, array 3, array 4. Now you want to access element at index 2. Now what is what would be the value? This is array of 0, this is array of 1, this is array of 2. So this will print 35. So in this way, randomly you can access an array by using subscript. Percentage D, why do we use percentage D? This is format specifier. For integer we use percentage D and /n is for new line. After this statement will be executed, printed, the cursor will come to the next one. To array 2, you can, like this way, you can access different value by using array subscript, like array 2, array 4, array 0. Like if you want to access array 4, so it will print the last one. If you want to access array 0, so it will print the first one. So first value is 50, last value is 55. So array 0 will print 15, array 4 will print to 55. Like this. You can access randomly, or if you want to access entire array by using loop, you can access the entire arrays. Like this way. So you can store value in an array by taking input from the user, and whenever you input the value from the user, that value will be stored in array. How? Like if you say scanner percentage d ampersand my array is a variable, and at the first location you want to store value, so you are giving at the first location my array ampersand my array of 0. This value will be stored at first location, 0th location. If you want to store the float value, you can store it like this way. So you can also display the value by using subscript also. Like in the previous example, you have seen like this way percentage D, my array 0, my array I minus 1, whatever the position of I that would store the last, second last value. Now you can see what are the main properties of an array. Why do we use an array? First is fixed size. Whenever you declare an array, it the size becomes fixed. So array, because array, whenever you declare it, it is static in nature. So once you declare an array, the size becomes fixed. The array in C is a fixed size collection of elements. The size of the array must be known at the compile time and it cannot be changed once it is declared. Homogeneous means you can store same data type of element in a same variable. So we can store one type of element in an array. So there is no restriction on the number of elements, but the type of all these elements must be same. Homogeneous means similar kind, same nature, same data type, value in a same variable. So as you know, array index always begins with 0 in C language. It means the first value would be 0, first index would be 0, and the last index would be size minus 1. Dimension, as you see, there are different type of array. One is 1D, that is for linear, multidimensional, that could be 2D, 3D, and so on. Basically, dimensions represents the direction, how array can grow in that direction. So dimensions represents direction. Now you know whenever you declare an array, compiler reserve continuous memory location for that variable. So it is a continuous storage. All the elements in array are stored continuously one after another in the memory. So it is one of the defining property of array in C. That's why we can access array sequentially as well as randomly. Randomly means any location you want to access it, say percentage B, let the variable is array, let it is stored in array of 10, array of 50, array of 4, any value, anytime you can access it. So arrays, you can access random. Random mode means you can access any value of an array. Random access, we can get a random element at an index of array and in constant time, the complexity just by using index number. As I have already told you, array does not check to size boundary. No index out of bound checking is done by an array. For C in the language C and C++. So for example, see, if you make a program and if you access, suppose you have declared a variable of size 5, and what will happen, see, if you say, if there is a variable array and size is 5, if I say percentage D, comma, array of 5, maximum it can hold array of 4. If I see array of 5, what will happen? It won't produce a compilation error, but there would be an exception will be raised. It will produce some unexpected result when the program is executed. By using array, you can, you have seen, you can use different type of algorithm. You can optimize your code. Ease of traversing. By using a single loop, you can print, you can traverse an entire array. So by using array, you can use searching, sorting algorithms, and you can access record. You can access the element of an array randomly also, anytime, anywhere. Like first 0, then 4, then 2, then 1, then 0. So this is called random access. Now, disadvantage of array, the size of array is fixed. Once it is declared, it cannot be increased or decreased. Like you will see in dynamic data structure, we have linked list. Linked list is in dynamic in nature. Dynamic in nature means as much you want to grow the size of linked list, that much you can grow it. But in array, it does not happen because array is static in nature. Once you declare it, you have to use that much size of an array. Array allows you a fixed number of elements to be entered. This is decided at the time of declaration. Unlike linked list is in dynamic in nature. An array in C is not dynamic. Even if you want to insert an element in an array or delete an element in an array, it is not an easy. You have to rearrange an array for insertion or deletion. So with access time, it will take more access time. The cost of accessing would increase. Then complexity would be increased. See, there are certain examples you can see why do we use an array? See, in this example, what I am doing is, I am declaring a variable A that is of data type integer. First, I have given an initial value 5 to the variable. So that statement will be printed. So it will print 5. But after that, I have reinitialized A by 10. So after reinitialization, if I say print that statement, so it will print 10. Now after again I have reinitialized 50. So it will print 50. Now after 15, if you want to access record 5 or 10, you cannot access it because A is a simple variable. Simple variable means it can hold only a single value at a time. If the previous value will be erased, if you are giving a new value to the same variable, the first value will be erased. So then the last access you are giving 15, so it will store 15. If you want to access 5 or 10 by a single variable, you cannot do it. You cannot do it because it is a simple variable. It is a single variable. It can hold only a single value. The previous value will be erased. You cannot store 5 or 10 in the same variable at the same time. In the same time, we can store only a single value. If you want to access the value 5 or 10, so it is not possible by a single variable, so declaring a single variable. For that, you need an array. For that, you need an array. As you have seen, by using array, we can access record random. Next example, see how array is declared and how it is traversed. So suppose you have a variable marks, size is 5, data type is int. So here you have given 5 initial value like 87, 90, 65, 34, 87. And here you have declare another variable for loop. This is I. And you are starting the loop with 0 because array always begins at 0. Array index always begins at 0. And the size boundary also, it doesn't check it. It will produce some error exceptions. So every time, whenever you use an array, it loop always begins from 0 and the last would be size minus 1. The size is 5, so we will test the condition less than 5. And here the loop counter is incremented by 1. I plus plus means I equal to I plus 1. So first it will initialize 0, then it will test it. Here it will print marks of 0. Now what is marks of 0? Here it is 87. And then I plus plus I will become 1. So marks of 1 it would be 90. So in this way you can print the entire array. by using loop statement. So this is called traversing of an array. Now, see another example. You see how arrays input from the user and the source. This is a program. You have to enter 10 number in array and you have to display only the even number. So first, what would you do? First, you have an array storing 10 values. So how would you store it? First, you declare a variable a and data type is int, size is 10. So this variable using for loop counter. So you are asking a user, please enter 10 number. So by using a loop, how for I equal to 0, I less than 10. Again, array always begin with index 0. So that's why we always start loop with 0. And the last would be size minus 1. So size minus 1 is 9. Either you can say I less than equal to 9 or you can say I less than 10. So both the condition are same. And here you are incrementing it. So scanner, you are asking the user, here inputting from the user, you are storing the value 10 in an array A. So you have stored 10 value in an array A. Now you have to check it. So for check it, you have to traverse. You have to pick each number of an array. So means you have to traverse an array. For traversing an array, you can again use a loop. Here you are traversing an array because you have to choose, you have to pick each value of an array. So how would you pick each value of an array? So you have to traverse it. So for traverse it, you have to use a loop. So for I equal to 0, again I less than. So for first value, if it is divisible by 2, means if the remainder comes 0, then it is even. Otherwise, it is not even. We were supposed to find only the even number. So that's why I have not used else odd number. So otherwise, if there would be an odd value, so that would automatically skip because we are not taking any action for odd. We are taking only action for even. So this is enclosing of if statement. This is enclose of for statement, and this is enclose of name. So by using an array, you can make a lot of programs. Like suppose in 1D array, there are marks of 5 students and you want to find the maximum marks or minimum marks. So how would you find it? So see, in this example, I have declared array marks of size 5 and it is of int data type. Here I have declared two variable I for loop and max is a variable where I will store the maximum marks. So here I have declared a variable max. So you are asking the user, please enter whatever 5, 10, whatever you want to declare the size of for marks, you can declare. So you make a loop. So you are entering the value, you are storing the value. You are storing here. I have declared size 5. So here 5 value will be stored. Now, what is the logic for finding maximum value? See, you have to compare one variable with the entire loop. If you find any maximum value, you have to store in the variable. So what I've done here, I have taken a variable max. So I have initialized the first value of marks array by in a variable max. Suppose I have 50, 80, 70. Let first value 50. So in the max variable, the max variable will be initialized by 50. Now now I'm running a loop and starting from 1 because the first value it is stored in variable max. From second value to till last size value, you can operate a loop. You can run a loop like I equal to 1, I less than 5, I plus plus. Now you are comparing the value with the marks array. Here in max, in max we have a first value. So we are comparing the entire array from second value to till end of the array. comparing this max variable, if you find max less than max I, so that value will be in max. In max, let us suppose I have taken a 50 value, and if the next is 70, so 50 is less than 70, yes, so max will store the 70 value, whatever the index is there. So once this logic is complete, come out from the loop and find print max here. What will happen if you say printf statement in the loop statement? So every time whatever the index change, it will print max equal to this. That would be confusing. So you won't be able to know what is the maximum value because once the task is complete, because you just want the result max value. So after completing the task, you can print the statement after the termination of loop. So here you can make a program for finding a minimum value also. The same logic is here. Take a min variable, initialize it to the first, initialize it with the first value of an array. Compare from second element to till size of array. If you find min greater than this, so replace the value min by array. The same logic for you can do for min also. But here you are testing for less than for maximum value, for minimum you reverse the condition. Here instead of less than you use greater than. So in this way, by using an array, you can make a lot of calls. Like you want to find average or you want to find sum of marks. So here again, the same things you can do it. You declare an array, take a variable if you want to add it, initialize it with 0. If you do not initialize with 0, it will produce some garbage value. So take the value from the user in a loop code, store the value like this way, sum equal to sum plus marks of I. So all the marks of entire array will be stored in a variable sum. Here we have initialized 0. At first time, sum is 0, 0 plus marks 0. So let it be first value 50, so 0 plus 50, so sum will store 50. And when I becomes 1, then marks 1, let it be 70, 50 plus 70, 120, and so on. Like this way, that all entire array will be stored in a variable sum. So after once the loop is finished, you can see the value of sum. If you want to find the average marks, for average, I would say you declare a float variable because once you declare, you know what is how average find sum divided by number of students. So it could average could come in the float also. So you take a average variable float. There is one more example. By using array, you can use linear search, binary search. So what is search? Search means suppose you have your marks or result. If you want to fetch your result, you have to enter your roll number and you can see, you can find your grade card or you can see check your result marks. So here, how linear searching or sequential searching is done. Here I have taken an array of roll number, maximum size is 10. I have taken one value I for loop target. Target is the variable which you want to search it, the roll number which you want to search it. So here you will put the value in target variable. Found, it works like a flag. Initially it is false. When you are searching from the list of an array, if the element is found, you can make a found flag true and you can come out from the loop. So here you are inputting the 10 value and after 10 value you are asking the user please enter target value. Now you are traversing the entire array and you are comparing each array by a target member. If it found, then flag would be 1, means found would be 1 and you will come out from the loop because after that you are not supposed to search it. So terminate the loop, come out from the loop. And if flag is one, means found is one, then data found. But it's not necessary, no? Whatever you searching it, the roll number found or not. If it is not found, then it will print the masses not. I hope you must have understood what is an array, how it is declared, how it is initialized, uh, how you can traverse it, how you can make a program like sum, max, min, average. You can search, you can sort an element. So this is all about 1D array. This is all about 1D array. If anyone has any problem regarding today's session, you can ask. You know what is an array? Array is a group of similar data type element. It always begins with 0. 0 is called index or subscript. And the last size of array would be size minus 1. Please ask if anyone has doubt regarding to this session or any query, like any kind of problem, any previous problem regarding the previous sessions. Yes, in practical, of course, you will understand it. I will give you some practical sessions regarding how array declared, how it is used. Yes, like arrays are static. You have a pointer, you have structure, you have linked list, stack, queue. All these are data structures. No. How to remove an index from a middle, as I have told you, you have to rearrange it, you have to reorganize it, you have to copy it from first, whatever you want to copy the number, then leave that position and compare, and the rest of the number will be copied it. There is a different logic for that. You because as I have told you, array is static in nature, so you cannot remove an element and in between of an array. You have to rearrange. No problem. You first you make a very simple C program, like how variable are declared. See, look at basic like how loops works. You will understand. Just do some practice with whatever the software you use. Any doubt? Otherwise, let us end the session. And lastly, you said you will show two example in yes, yes, yes. I told you. So I forget it. So I will install this week, and surely next week I will show you the example in VS. No, no, as such, there is no difference. Either you use VS or Turbo C, both the code will be the same. Only the platform environment is different. So, yeah, sure. Next week, sure. Environment is different. Otherwise, the code will work same, either Turbo C or in BS. It's up to you. Either you want to make your code on Turbo C or VS Code. VS Code is a single one platform where all the coding, all the language coding can be done. But in Turbo C, only a specific C or C++ code you can run. Okay, now let us end the session. We will continue lab session at 1 p.m.